Does this look familiar? It's the middle of the night. You can't sleep. You feel terrible. You feel hopeless. You feel desperate. How can you fix this? How can you get rid of all your symptoms? So you jump on a computer and you start to search. What are they saying? What worked for them? What's the missing link? What treatment will fix you? Oh boy, I spent years like that. In the last decade, I've seen countless people go through the same journey. And yes, sometimes they have that aha moment. Sometimes they find their breakthrough. Like for example, when people rekindle their hope, when they find some recovery interviews and see how others have recovered. But often this search is not just unhelpful, but actually detrimental. Now this might be a bit of a surprise for you to hear from me, given that I have dedicated myself to educating patients and healthcare professionals about recovery from this group of illnesses for over a decade now. And if you have listened to recovery interviews, you will have heard people say how finally gaining that knowledge is what allowed them to recover. So of course, knowledge is important. Knowledge can be key to allow us to move forward effectively, but it can also hold us back. So first I'm going to give you 4 benefits here of seeking information. Then we're going to discuss 4 challenges with information. And finally, 4 problems with seeking information. Okay, let's get into it. Benefit number 1, validation. Seriously, there's still so much gaslighting. People never seem to believe that the illness is real, or they suggest it's a mental illness. So seeing evidence that it is in fact a real physical illness is really helpful for many of us. Although if you reflect, you probably already knew that in your heart. Now, of course the illness is real. How could it not be real, right? Number 2, you're not alone. When you connect with forums and patient groups, you'll find countless of people with the same experience as you. For many of us, there's a real comfort in knowing that. Number 3, getting diagnosed. Now, obviously, you should never self-diagnose. All your symptoms should always be investigated by your doctor. In an ideal scenario, we just go to the doctor and we get an appropriate diagnosis after such investigations. But often that doesn't happen. So getting diagnosed is important not just to rule out other illness, but also to get you focused on what needs to be done for recovery. Unfortunately, I have seen people take years, even decades, to get diagnosed. Getting some knowledge can allow you to advocate for yourself more effectively and move from receiving shrugs to receiving an appropriate diagnosis sooner after all of the investigations are completed. Number 4, reduce fear. Understanding more about what's going on can tremendously reduce fear. When we're faced with a large list of mystery symptoms, that's a scary and stressful experience that's not only making your daily life much worse, but frankly, it's quite unhelpful for your recovery. Many people find that understanding what is going on in their body and why they're experiencing the symptoms is a huge sigh of relief. So there you have it. So there are 4 really sound reasons to gain knowledge and to seek information. But it seems that for every story I hear of someone being rescued by gaining of information, I hear about someone being shackled by it. So let's start by looking at some of the challenges around the seeking of information. Challenge number 1, overwhelming volume of information. Okay, we're in the information age now, and it provides an abundance of health-related information ranging from professional advice to anecdotal evidence. And whilst having access to a wide range of data can be beneficial, it often leads to an overwhelming volume of potential actions and treatments and products. And it makes it really hard for an individual to know where to start or what to focus on. And what is actually important as opposed to what is simply noise. Challenge number 2 is assessing the quality and bias of information. The credibility and bias of information sources presents a significant challenge. There are diverse sources, such as from government departments, different types of healthcare professionals with different training and different types of treatments, as well as legacy and social media sources. And each source may have their own bias or conflict of interest, influenced by commercial interests or other agendas. Now, this situation necessitates a real critical and discerning approach to evaluate the credibility of information, recognizing that even reputable sources may have underlying biases or conflicts of interest and are not necessarily based on up-to-date science. Challenge number 3, risk of confirmation bias. There's a risk of becoming overly attached to certain theories or pieces of information, leading to confirmation bias. This bias can cause individuals to ignore alternative or complementary information, potentially missing out on critical aspects of health management or recovery. It's really important to remain open to various perspectives and evidence to avoid this tunnel vision that could hinder your personal progress. Challenge number 4, the pursuit of health information can feel like navigating through endless rabbit holes, with each query leading to more questions rather than concrete answers. This endless search can create anxiety, stress, and uncertainty. When have you gathered enough information? Should entirely different avenues be explored? Now, recognizing when to pause and consolidate your existing knowledge is crucial to avoid being caught in a cycle of never-ending searching that may not yield any additional value. So these 4 challenges, they can lead to some very real problems that, in my experience, actually hinder people's ability to progress. Realizing these and managing them can help ensure that you get the benefit of knowledge without being held back by the process of getting the knowledge. So here are actually 4 problems that these challenges that I mentioned can lead to. Number 1, decision fatigue and paralysis. The endless options and recommendations, they can really lead to decision fatigue, where you can feel so overwhelmed by the choices that you feel afraid of making the wrong decision. This can result in paralysis by analysis, and it can cause you to delay or hinder effective health management or treatment decisions. Number 2, misallocation of time and resources. Look, continuous information seeking can lead to a misallocation of time and resources, with individuals chasing new, often unproven treatments or products instead of focusing on the very strategies that they already know are helping them. Follow the evidence, right? But because progress is often slow, we look for faster breakthrough strategy. Number 3, anxiety and uncertainty. The quest for exhaustive knowledge can exacerbate feelings of anxiety and uncertainty. The fear of missing out on a critical piece of information or the right treatment can lead individuals to a never-ending cycle of searching that offers little additional benefit, but increases stress or worry. Now, living with chronic illness is really tough. The last thing you need is more stress. Number 4, ignoring comprehensive health strategies. Perhaps this is the biggest problem of all. This focus on finding the perfect piece of information or treatment can lead to ignoring broader, holistic approaches to health. By concentrating too narrowly on specific details, people may overlook the importance of a balanced and comprehensive health strategy that incorporates lifestyle, nutrition, mental health, preventative care, everything. Now, I would say this is really the number one insight that I discuss in the ANS Rewire program, and spend quite some time educating people on why this is the case. So I'm talking about the importance of a multilateral strategy. Embrace this concept and move away from behaviors like excessive information seeking and rabbit holes, which are detrimental to effectively building a multilateral approach. Now, hopefully you can see how whilst gaining information or knowledge can be helpful, it can also be unhelpful. And no wonder many of us spend years or even decades going from motivated digging for answers or cures to giving up, feeling despondent, and then only to start the digging again. We need to find a balanced approach. What we need is to gain a better understanding of why are all these problems in our body occurring. In my experience, what is usually missing is not details, but it's the overview of the illness, the big picture. Because I think it's so important to have this overview, I wrote the book CFS Unraveled. Get well by treating the cause, not just the symptoms of CFS, fibromyalgia, POTS and related syndromes. I wrote this book after I had recovered when I started the YouTube channel and the advocacy work. If you haven't read it yet, I recommend you check it out. The ebook is really affordable, and if you want a physical copy, you can check out the link below for some good buying options. So, what's your experience been? I'd be really curious to know how much time and money you've spent going down rabbit holes and what turned things around for you. Please leave your comment below, and until next time, remember, treat the cause, not just the consequences.